Hi, kids. It's Mrs. Roberts. Welcome to my kitchen. We're into October, and something very special happened in October. And that was that Christopher Columbus discovered America. So I wrote a story about it. Now remember, this is historical fiction. So my version of the story and Christopher Columbus's journey is what I learned in school. And it might be different than what historians have to say today. I don't know. Things are always changing. But let's see. I hope you enjoy my version of Christopher Columbus and his journey. And I've titled it Christopher Columbus as Told by P.H. Patriot Pigeon. And of course, it's by Mrs. Roberts. And here's our little pigeon. He is narrating the story. Let's get started. Hey, look! There's P.H. Patriot Pigeon sitting in that tree. Would you tell us a story, Patriot? Would you tell us one, please? Tell us how people started to explore. Tell us how they found the American shores. Here we go, guys. Here's Patriot Pigeon. And here's a little cat and mouse begging Patriot for a story. There are so many stories that I could tell of men and women that served us well. Today's story has to do with the sea and the men who helped the world believe. And what did they help make the world believe? That the world was round. Kids, people used to think the world was flat, but Columbus helped prove that the world was round. Europe needed Asia for all kinds of trade. The route east was long and not easily made. Marco Polo went east by caravan on the Silk Road. Some sailed around Africa, but these routes were slow. And so let me just show you very quickly, kids. If you look at the map, you can see here's Europe. People were sailing all the way around Africa, all the way around India, right? To get all the way over here. And people like Marco Polo were heading all across the continent. They're heading across Asia, okay, India, trying to get over here. And don't forget, in those days, no cars, no airplanes. So things were going pretty slow. I'll give you one more look at the map before we go on. Yeah. Boats, caravans. Christopher Columbus wanted a faster way. He hoped to sail the ocean and leave without delay. Many people feared the sea in 1492. They thought the world was flat. Columbus knew this couldn't be true. And this is what they feared, kids. If they left Europe, they would sail right over the edge of the earth. And meanwhile, they also thought there were all kinds of monsters in the sea, okay? And we have Patriot Pigeon up here. And he says, "Don't worry, you won't fall off the earth." I think Patriot Pigeon knows the world is round as well. He thought the world was round. He wanted to head west. He studied geography and knew his route was best. The Orient was the goal. He dreamed he'd find Japan. He wanted spices, gold, and adventure from that magical land. So when we talk about gold and spices, he's talking about trade, okay? He wanted to be able to trade things like spices. So if they started in Europe, he knew instead of heading east, he wanted to head west, okay? And he thought he'd hit Japan. But I think you know what he hit, not Japan. He thought he was going to hit Japan. King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella of Spain gave Columbus 3 ships so he could go. On August 3rd, 1492, he set sail from the port of Palos. The Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria were the 3 beautiful ships that sailed. The crews of these ships headed west, knowing they must not fail. And the king and queen, I have 2 little cartoons, and it says, "You may sail west." And the queen says, "Find us riches." And here are the 3 ships. This is the king and queen of Spain. Okay? And so they're heading west, and here are our ships, the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria. And of course, they're sailing west over the Atlantic Ocean. Columbus is ready. Columbus says, oh, I forgot. Columbus says, "Thank you." Because it costs a lot of money to sail like that, especially in those days. The trip was longer than expected. The sailors wanted to turn back. Courageous Columbus cheered them on. He knew they must stay on track. Then suddenly, on October 10th, Columbus saw a light. Could it be the land he dreamed of, shining in the night? And I've got a picture of Columbus on the ship, and he says, "I see a light in the distance." And one of the sailors says, "And that's not a star." So here they are. There's the light in the distance. We got Patriot Pigeon telling the story. And here's Columbus. He was on the Santa Maria. And do you know what that light was? We'll find out. It wasn't a star. On October 11th, a sailor saw land across the vast sea. When the sun rose on October 12th, Columbus rowed ashore and dropped down on his knees. He gave thanks to God and claimed the land for Spain. The island he named San Salvador, where Spain's king and queen could reign. Okay, I want you to take a look. Here's Columbus. There's Spain's flag. He dropped down on his knees because he was so thankful to God that he hit land and proved the world was round. He didn't fall off the end of the earth. And his sailors were so excited. They came in on a little rowboat. But I want you to look carefully. Okay? Who's hiding back here? There's Patriot Pigeon. But who are these people? Do you think they're from Japan? We'll find out. Christopher Columbus showed determination and courage to prove the world was round, even though the Orient, wasn't what he found. Here is San Salvador. Here are the people that actually are from there. And he's saying, the world is round. I did it. I didn't fall off the end of the earth. He had discovered a new land. He had touched America's shores. And this encouraged others to bravely explore. And I've got some cartoons here. One says, "The world is not flat after all." And someone else says, "Did you hear? Columbus found a new land." How exciting! I hope I can explore one day. And these are other characters. Once Columbus gets back, people start hearing the news that there is a land out there and they don't fall off the end of the earth. Okay? He named it San Salvador. It wasn't Japan after all. Nope. Do you guys know yet? What did he find? Well, this ends my story for today. It tells how people, true and brave, discovered a new world along the way. Kids, he discovered islands off of South America. So it was the American shores, sort of. But, and he named it San Salvador, which was a Spanish name. Okay? It wasn't North America, but he did prove the world was not flat. And so that encouraged other explorers to follow him and look for new lands as well. All right? Well, I hope you enjoyed my Christopher Columbus story. And like I say, all these details are details I learned when I was a little kid in school. And some people change the details as history goes on, but this is the version that I learned. All right, kids, have a great day. And I so enjoyed reading Christopher Columbus as told by Patriot, Pigeon. All right, kids, enjoy this beautiful October weather, and I will be reading to you soon. Bye-bye.